Welcome to Mixtape 51. I'm Jade, and on this channel, I discuss all things photography. Photography, just like anything else that maybe is a hobby or a career, you hit a wall and you burn out. That was me recently, and the remedy I found to that was just kind of changing my perspective. And that really was allowing for getting inspired again. And I didn't really expect it to be with the 55-200 Fuji lens. I'm not a huge fan of this particular lens. I'll go into that later in the video as far as the cons of the lens. But I will say that the perspective of, having that focal range, 55-200, for something that you wouldn't normally use it for as far as street photography, cityscape photography, it's been refreshing. It's almost been like when I go out now, it's kind of like a little puzzle to put together comps that you wouldn't really think of normally, and to look for comps that are just so out of the ordinary because you've got that reach of the 200 millimeters, and it's made it fun again. And not that it may be the perfect solution for everyone. I was just thinking I would do a video on this in case you've kind of, hit a bit of a wall yourself and maybe needed something to kind of get you out of the rut. This has definitely worked for me recently, and it's been glued to my camera for quite a few shoots now. The one I'm going to show in this video is one of where I went to La Quinta, California, and got some images just kind of putzing around in this little area by my hotel. Again, let me go ahead and start to show you guys these images. This first image is actually from just outside the hotel I was staying at, which was the Embassy Suites there in La Quinta. And what's kind of interesting about it is it's from the parking lot, but because of the reach of that lens, I was actually able to even get some layering here as far as, a bit of a tree in the foreground. You've got the palm trees in the middle, and then you've got the mountainscape in the background. And so, it's just so cool that from a parking lot with cars in it, from where I was, you wouldn't normally be able to get anything. But again, because of that reach, it completely changes the perspective and actually allowed me to get a composition here that I liked. This next image is a nice detailed shot that I was able to capture. But this brings me to one of the downsides of this lens is that you're going to want to keep in mind that the minimum focus distance is 3.61 feet or 1.1 meters. So it is possible to get some nice detail shots, but you just keep in mind you got to have some distance. We're back again in a parking lot scenario where, again, you would not think that you could capture any kind of image, that you would want to have as a keeper. But as you can see, I caught the lighting at the perfect timing. And the fact that I had the reach with this lens just worked out perfect. I was able to get a nice tight shot of these palm trees that were backlit with the sun and the mountainscape there again. And I'm just kind of blown away that I was able to completely crop out the cars and the parking lot. You would never even know I was in a parking lot whatsoever based on the image. And I love that. It kind of creates a story to the whole thing. All right, last one to show you. And again, from a parking lot here, you can see I am way away from the subject. But again, just got lucky with the lighting, getting, a nice palm tree with some backlighting and the mountainscape. And it again was another image that I would print and felt like, wow, I got another keeper. I don't know if I really emphasized it enough earlier in the video that this video is really not about going out and getting yourself a 55-200. Although I will be putting the link for it down below because that helps the channel. But it's really more about changing your perspective. If you shoot, let's say, only golden hour, maybe you try shooting high contrast scenes. Maybe you go out at noon and you try looking for shadows and shapes, and you really train your eye to look for something different. If you shoot mostly just good weather, go out when it's raining and you look for reflection shots, but it doesn't necessarily need to cost you money to change your perspective. I think it's really all about just changing up whatever you do in the norm and trying something new and seeing how it works out for you. But with all that being said, let me talk about the lens as far as the things that I'm not really a fan of with this lens, since it is a big part of the subject in this video. All right, first with this lens, the obvious. It's big, it's bulky, and it's quite heavy. But that's inherent with a 55-200. As far as the aperture goes, it's a slower lens. It's a 3.5 to 4.8. So it's not going to be the greatest for low light scenes or night. Thing that was kind of weird with this lens that I noticed that could just be this copy of it. But when I was zooming, sometimes it would just black out the screen. So don't be in a rush because it may black the screen out, and it's pretty, it's pretty short. It's not like it lasts for a long time, but it throws you off. Also, too, it's not weather sealed, which is a bummer because I do like to shoot when, it's raining and that kind of thing. So it's kind of a bummer that it's not weather sealed. But other than all that, it definitely changes your perspective, and it's been a lot of fun to use. One other lens that you could maybe look into as an alternative to this is something like the 90mm f2, which is a great lens. I used to own that one. Unfortunately, I did sell it because I wasn't really using it. And kind of now with my whole thought process on changing your perspective, I sort of wished I hadn't sold it. This might have been helpful to you. And yeah, if you got anything to add in the conversation as far as how you've maybe changed up your perspective, maybe your experience with this lens, please reach out and put it below. It'd be great to hear from you. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.